Hey, what's up everyone? I hope you're doing well today. You know, I've been thinking a lot lately about how we all go through life trying to figure things out. We're constantly faced with challenges, doubts, and moments where we wonder if we're on the right path. But what if I told you that there's a way to truly shape your reality, to take control of your life in a way that's empowering and transformative? Sounds pretty cool, right? Well, today, we're diving into something that has been around for centuries, but still has the potential to change everything about how you experience the world. We're talking about the Hermetic Principles. Now, if you're new to this concept, don't worry. I'm going to break it down in a way that's simple to understand and even easier to apply to your life. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of what the Hermetic Principles are and how you can start using them to take control of your life. But before we dive in, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like things are just happening to you? Like you're just riding the wave and hoping for the best? Maybe you've struggled with manifesting your dreams, or you're stuck in a pattern of negative thinking. If that's you, then trust me when I say that you're not alone. We all go through these phases, but what I've learned is that you can break free from this cycle, and that's exactly where the Hermetic Principles come in. Let's start with the first principle, mentalism. This one is powerful. It states that everything is mind, which basically means that the universe itself is mental. It's like everything we experience, all the events and circumstances in our lives, are reflections of the mind, whether it's the universal mind or our own individual minds. Now, I know this sounds pretty deep, but think about it for a second. All of the things we see, feel, and experience are influenced by our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. Our perceptions shape how we interact with the world. The universe isn't just this physical space around us. It's a vast field of energy and consciousness that is influenced by our minds. And the mind, my friends, is where all creation starts. Everything you see around you, all the material world, all the experiences you have, they come from the mind. What's interesting is that if you can learn to master your mind, you can start to shape your reality. It's not just about positive thinking, though that's a part of it. It's about taking control of your thoughts and using them to create the life you want. I'm not talking about magic here. I'm talking about real power, mental power. So how do you practically apply this? Well, the first step is recognizing that your thoughts are the foundation of everything you experience. Your mind is like a canvas, and the thoughts you think are like the brushstrokes that create your life's masterpiece. When you realize that you have the power to direct your thoughts, that's when you truly understand the principle of mentalism. Next, let's move to the principle of correspondence. This one is famous for the saying, as above, so below, as within, so without. This principle shows that there is a direct connection between the macrocosm and the microcosm. In other words, what happens on the outside, in the greater world around us, is a reflection of what happens within us. The patterns we see in the universe are also reflected in our personal lives. Think about it like this. Have you ever noticed that when you're feeling off, everything around you seems to fall apart? It's like the universe is mirroring your inner world. And on the flip side, when you're feeling positive, energetic, and aligned with your true self, things just seem to flow effortlessly. That's the power of correspondence. This principle reminds us that our outer world is a direct reflection of our inner world. If you want to change the world around you, you've got to start by changing the way you think and feel within. It all starts inside your mind. When you apply this principle, you begin to see that the key to shaping your reality is within you. And by shifting your internal world, your thoughts, your emotions, your mindset, you begin to see the external world shift with you. Alright, let's move on to the third principle, vibration. This one's huge, especially when we talk about the law of attraction. Everything is vibration, and I mean everything. Every object, every person, every situation. Even our emotions are all made up of energy vibrating at different frequencies. What this means is that your thoughts and feelings are actually a form of energy that vibrates at a certain frequency. This is where it gets really cool. You see, when you understand the principle of vibration, you realize that you can actually control your vibration. Your feelings, your emotions are key here. The more you can raise your emotional frequency, the more you can attract what you want into your life. Positive emotions like love, joy, and gratitude vibrate at a high frequency, while negative emotions like fear, anger, and sadness vibrate at a lower frequency. So how can you practically apply this principle? It's simple, really. Focus on the emotions that raise your vibration. Get into the feeling of what you want. Don't just think about your goals, feel them. When you start to vibrate at the frequency of your desires, the universe will start to align with that frequency and bring you more of what you want. Moving on to the next principle, polarity. This principle states that everything has its opposite. Light and dark, hot and cold, love and hate, everything exists as a pair of opposites. But here's the kicker. These opposites are not really different things. They're the same thing, just at different degrees. Let's take the example of love and hate. At first glance, they might seem like two completely different emotions, but in reality, they're just two ends of the same emotional spectrum. Both are intense emotions, but one is positive and the other is negative. Understanding this principle can help you shift your emotions more easily. If you're feeling angry or upset, for example, you can recognize that anger is just a different form of love, just at a different degree. By shifting your focus and changing your emotional state, you can move from hate to love, from fear to courage. This is called mental alchemy, turning negative emotions into positive ones. The polarity principle helps you see that every situation has a flip side. And if you don't like one side, you can always shift toward the opposite. Everything has a balance, and understanding that allows you to shift your reality with ease. Next, let's talk about rhythm. This principle tells us that everything in life follows a cycle. Think of it like the rise and fall of the tide, or the pendulum of a clock. There's a natural rhythm to life. There are highs and lows, good times and bad times. And just like the tide, everything flows in and out. When you understand the rhythm principle, you start to see that life is not about constant success or constant struggle. There are always ebbs and flows. Sometimes things are going great, and other times they might feel like they're falling apart. But the key is to remember that everything moves in cycles. Nothing lasts forever, whether it's the good times or the bad times. So when you're going through a tough phase, remind yourself that it's temporary. The tides will change, and things will get better. Similarly, when you're experiencing success, don't get too comfortable. Know that there will always be a cycle, and be prepared for the changes that come with it. Now, let's dive into the cause and effect principle. This one is simple. Everything happens for a reason. There are no coincidences in life. Every action you take, every thought you think, every decision you make leads to a consequence. Your actions today are shaping your future, and your thoughts are creating the circumstances you experience tomorrow. Here's the thing. If you don't like the effects you're experiencing, it's time to look at the causes. The causes are your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. If you want a different result, you've got to make different choices. Start paying attention to the thoughts and actions that led to the outcomes you want, and actively choose them. You're the creator of your own reality. You're the one pulling the strings. Finally, we come to the last principle, gender. This one is often overlooked, but it's incredibly important. It states that everything in the universe is created through the combination of masculine and feminine energies. This isn't just about gender in the physical sense, but about the balance between action and receptivity, logic and intuition, creation and nurture. For creation to happen, both energies need to be in balance. Masculine energy is active. It's the drive, the force that pushes things forward. Feminine energy is receptive. It's the creativity, the intuition that nurtures ideas into existence. When these two energies come together, that's when true creation happens. All right, so there you have it. The Hermetic Principles in a nutshell. But now, it's time to ask yourself, how can you start applying these principles in your own life? The key is to start with small steps. Begin by becoming aware of your thoughts and emotions. Practice shifting your focus, controlling your vibration, and understanding the cycles of life. And most importantly, remember that you have the power to create your own reality. The Hermetic Principles are more than just abstract concepts. They're practical tools that you can use to transform your life. So start today. Take control of your mind, your emotions, and your actions. Embrace the power of the Hermetic Principles and watch how your world begins to shift in incredible ways. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope this video inspired you and gave you some tools to help you along your journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you've got any thoughts or experiences with these principles, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.